first time I met with Stephen was the first time I heard about FSHD, and it was totally different than anything I'd ever heard about before.
Not every research project has this clinical aspect to it, so the aspect of the connection to the patients and the connection to treating a disease. And so that's something that's really important to me and that really motivates me.
You get to ask questions that you really want to know the answers to, and spend the day trying to understand how you can move knowledge forward, and in moving knowledge forward, helping to either save lives or at least make lives better for people.
Along the way, I met all these people that have FSHD, and that's what sort of continues to motivate me.
Trying to learn more about the process by which DUX4 causes cell death and identifying possible targets for intervention.
FSHD is a progressive muscle disease, and it's caused by the misexpression of a gene that makes a protein that is a transcription factor that activates other genes. That gene is not supposed to be expressed in skeletal muscle. It's supposed to be kept off. In fact, that gene has a very important role early in development in setting up the early program of gene expression at the 2-4 stage embryo. And it has a critical role there, and it does that role incredibly well in the early embryo. But then it's supposed to be off and stay off. And in FSHD, because of a mutation in the genome that decreases the silencing of this transcription factor, it leaks a little bit in the skeletal muscle. And that turns on an early developmental program that should have been kept off. And that early developmental program then probably in many ways wreaks havoc in the skeletal muscle and causes damage to the muscle. And so, although there are many disturbances in the muscle that this transcription factor causes, the simple notion is if you could just turn it off again, you would stop the disease and reverse the process. And so we have really a very good target now to turn off that transcription factor called DUX4 and keep it off in the muscle. If we can do that, that should cure the disease.
I saw somebody in the clinic who had muscle weakness on one side of their body more than the other. It was a young lady in her late teens, and the doctors had sort of done a lot of different tests on her and came up short about what was causing her problem, and so they referred her to me to take a look at her. Long story short, it turned out she had FSHD, and I hadn't read much about FSHD even as a geneticist, and didn't know much about it at the time, and started reading about it and thought this seems pretty interesting to me. Maybe I'll focus my lab on it.
Seeing the patients and seeing the bigger picture of what we're doing is a huge motivation, and it keeps you going through the challenges of science because they are many. The progress can feel incremental, and so having that connection to the patients and seeing why we're doing this is crucial.